The third and final piece of the Power Zord battle system, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We'll open up and check out Titanus, the Carrier Zord, or also known as King Brachion, which is kind of a cooler name, just because of the dinosaur reference of it. That's his name in the Super Sentai show they took the footage from. The exact same toy in Japan. We'll get to look at this. And this baby is powered with the weirdest battery, a C battery, and it can move, so we'll have to check that out. We got like the picture on the side of the box showing and combine all the Zords. This is what we've been kind of leading up to. We needed this last piece after looking at the Megazord and Dragonzord. Not one everybody had. I think maybe everybody just had the other two if you had your Zords. It's definitely a luxury to get the third with Titanus because he's only in a few episodes. It was always pretty memorable when they needed to combine everything they had together. Luckily we have this box version. We can see the big foam container this puppy comes in. Whoa. We even have the original instructions if we need any clarification, which will be good because I want to show like as officially as I can here for you. Here it is held in with like a little bar there to keep the body in. Here's a piece I don't think a lot of people used a lot. We'll have to check that out. I don't even really remember it playing around. So we got his pieces here. This is actually his tail. Kind of a forgotten factoid there. The huge chunky body. This one seems to have a lot of its stickers intact still, but some browning or something to the wheels, unless maybe this was played around with outside, who knows. But this is the one where it was kind of revealed the secret there. It's like got the printed Zyuranger, like Japanese print. That was always like unraveled the mystery for me as a kid. I was like, hey, wait a minute. And that's when you kind of found out it was from a Japanese show kind of remade to make the Power Rangers. So we'll get all the pieces here. So he kind of only has two configurations. Take a closer look at his awesome head here. Again, he looks a lot better with all the stickers on there. I think mine all fell off pretty quickly. Or a lot of times I just wouldn't put them on the toys because I just knew they would peel off so quickly. But he always was awesome looking. Nice mouth movement possible there. And then the shiny red eyes. And pretty clever here, little spring piece here so we can lock into this neck piece. Push that together and it kind of holds in. Plus adds like an articulation point for the head. So we can bring him around here. We've got his feet. Shiny gold. Oh, yes. He's got a left and a right here. We have a little peg above his freaking tank wheels. It's funny that he has like legs, but even in the show they show him like revving his wheel. So we just put it through the hole there. And they do have an L and an R inside, just so you know. Got this little chest piece here. Again, a lot of stickers replaced for the Power Ranger release with like some lightning bolts covering up some of the weirder symbols and stuff from the Japan show. But it's molded right into the body, so there wasn't much they could do there. So we got the feet there, the neck. And so what you actually do, it's tempting to put these cannon looking pieces up here because that's where they will go later, but actually I think they kind of go together. Kind of have like a hole in this cross thing, and then these two pieces up at the top here kind of go together as well. And this is kind of like his tail piece. He's got a hole in the back there. Titanus's hole. He's got like some little cross peg things. You can see that the holes and stuff and the pegs line up. Snap in there, so actually he's like big and long in his normal form. Because he's like, you know, a Brachiosaurus kind of thing with a big body, long neck, and even a big old tail, so it was cool. There was even times when they would call on him and he would just like come out and shoot. Like he'd breathe like fireballs or something. Like they wouldn't even combine with him. It'd just be firing an assault on a monster. I think some of that was maybe Power Ranger related, just to kind of use the footage more. They really liked when they would shoot stuff because it was easier to edit, you know, the monster reacting and stuff like that, just to getting blasts shot at him. So I think while he's just in this regular form, I actually want to see the driving feature. I hope it works here. I got the panel here and it's actually pretty clean. Like batteries weren't left inside there, I don't think. So it's a good sign. And hopefully I'm not stupid and I didn't buy the wrong battery or something, because this is a little bit of an irregular battery. These are chunkier, thicker C batteries, not like your AA, AAA. So it looks like they fit. That is a good sign. So then it's just a matter of finding where the control is for that. I kind of forget where the button is. Oh my god! We better consult the manual for this. So the button is this side tab that is in for on and pulled out for off. So I guess it was left in there and it went crazy. So we'll put the batteries back in. I think we'll be safe for now. And then, oh boy, okay, well, I don't know. We'll see if it works. Holy crap. He goes, and then that wheel turns these, this little mechanism here you can see, get a little bobbing up and down action, so the feet are moving just like in the show even. So really cool motion you get with it, and it drives forward on its own. Not remote control or anything crazy, but you could load him up and have him like run right at some monsters and knock him down. I guess that's why it needs the C batteries. It's like so strong. Like rolling at you like a tank. This one's really fun. I remember lining stuff up and having him go a long distance doing his walk all the way up the kitchen and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool that I got a working one, but man, it is loud to run. Then you kind of want to get them like out of sync actually to get kind of like a walking motion and get a better visual of the feet going. So you can kind of control that a little bit. It's kind of cool where you get the starting point on each wheel. That's pretty fun. Now really all we can do is change a few things, like the feet here, I believe. I guess we probably needed it turned a little bit more to get some more motion, but we take those off. These will actually go on Megazord as power gloves. It literally calls them power gloves in the instruction. And then these have little grips in them actually too. You can open up and close. We'll see that later here. Kind of want to get the neck up. We probably can put this back compartment up too, just so we can have that. That's where we have our carrying space in his back. And you can see it's kind of taken out by this piece here. Because we can kind of put the neck back, pull this chest cover piece off, and then this comes down, which again we have more wheels here too, so that'll only help. That helps the neck kind of come down lower. That opens up the space in the back, so we have a whole big square we can put something up inside there. You gotta pull the tail out of the back because, as is typically demonstrated, we go on here with this little bottom hole, and there's just one little tab at the top of his arm thing that they go in. You want this flat thing to be up, and then obviously the kind of hollow inside on the inside, so it kind of has a better presentation outwardly. They don't go on super secure. I mean, it's just one little peg kind of holding in place, but now we get motion like the feet on those two, so it's kind of like bang 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 with the cannons. So pretty clever there the way they've designed stuff. So here he's kind of in carrier mode. He looks a little incomplete here because we actually need a Dragonzord piece to really finish the look for the most part. They feel so empty. That one pops right in there, kind of completing his look. And that also kind of pops those wheels down a lot better too. Actually, Dragonzord is a pretty important part of Titanus because not only that, you wouldn't want to leave his back exposed. So I think you can insert this Dragonzord tail in there too, I think. And that kind of fills that in too. And it's just kind of holding back there. It's just a little extra length in the back, but somewhere to put that, otherwise it wouldn't have a place. So this is more like Carrier Zord mode. I mean, it even shows in the instruction that it's like, oh yeah, just put the T-Rex one back there, or Dragonzord, like it can carry like any one Zord, even though they never did that like on the show or anything. There's actually one more piece I haven't shown yet, and that's a sweet chain that kind of makes his reins, that you kind of can rein in Titanus if you're riding in the back there. So now we have all the pieces here. We can do a quick transformation party here. our Dragon Megazord here, and then now he has extra pieces that we'll want to put on, like Titanus's kind of chest piece is an add-on here. It looks even cooler, so it kind of covers up poor Pterodactyl Zord. Now he has these sweet power gloves that just kind of form-fit on there, just pops right in the shape. So now he's got his bigger arms there. So here's where it gets a little tricky. He's got his grips to open up. He can kind of hold the reins, and it's a little difficult to kind of like size this up. It's saying maybe we can do two different ways where we can just have the chain around him. It's a little short, but I would usually put the chain itself into his hands a little bit. That's where a lot of it gets used up here in the distance between. Luckily he can kind of curve in a little bit to save some of the distance. So we can drop him down inside. And these little bolts should just reach the spot in his neck. This is how I would kind of do it, is with those bolts in the neck, and he's kind of holding on this way, just kind of a cool extra that he's kind of got a chain in there. And that's what the grip part of those hands are that can hold the chain. I think you can flip it around where the bolts are going to attach to the claw hand, and then just the chain is just wrapped around the neck. I might have to consult some footage to see which one is maybe more TV accurate, which is funny because I think Titanus might be the most shown on the TV toy, like in his toy form, because there's a scene in the original Zyuranger where they have all the toys lined up like they're talking to the, the characters, and it's just literally the toys laying there, like the Titanus is there and everything else, just the toys of them. And I think they're like taken at one point and trapped in bubbles, so then it's just the toys up there as well, instead of any like special model or anything. I mean, I guess you already kind of have the model with the toy, so why not use it? And it's a nice little commercial for the toy too, that way, I suppose. So here's the ULTRAZORD in its full form, which is awesome looking. And that's usually how I would display all these, just so I could have all of them out. And I just thought it looked really awesome. And like, it was a cool idea for the ULTRAZORD that it's just like a riding kind of tank, a dino tank with like the transformed Megazord in the back, like the reins, the cannon. I don't think it has space. We could do the crazy double thing, and then, you know, the Dragonzord piece is here for to work in, and the tails in the back as well. So this is kind of how the configuration is, and he just looks like super awesome like this. It just rides right at any monster and blows it away with all the cannons. I think, like, obviously these are the cannons on the side, and I think maybe that's what these are supposed to be, the holes, and it just seemed to come out of everywhere, like shooting out. It was pretty epic footage and stuff. Always wanted to see ULTRAZORD. They don't know about your ULTRAZORD protection, you know? It's just like the song. So this kind of set the standard for me of like an ULTRAZORD. That's why maybe I was a little disappointed sometimes of a little bit later when they couldn't really do something like this. Just because the Sentai show footage, you know, they made different Zord configurations and stuff from there. But again, it was the most featured toy in the shows, because also, if we can get the correct Zord out of here, they would try to continue using Titanus even after his footage was done, with like the Ninja Megazord. They go, hey, it fits in there. Apparently they had a lot more Titanuses to sell, so they were like, we're gonna put it in the dang show. And there wasn't really an ULTRAZORD with some of the later footage on the show, so it kind of makes sense that you'd use him. It is still somewhat compatible in that way, and then that's why they just had to use the toys for the show. They didn't have like the big models and stuff that the Japan crew would be using to film. So it's just the toy, and you can see the difference. I mean, there's a reason they took that footage from Japan, because the craftsmanship and artistry of the special effects is just... They knew how to do it in Japan, like in a stylized way, to do those miniatures or those, like, you know, suits and stuff, the way they would film that to make it look not necessarily realistic, but presentable and cool in that way. And here you just had the static toys, and it's not quite the same, you know? But they did have the built-in genius way of, like, using the reins with, like, the bear here. You could bite that and hold. It kind of made it make sense that way, too. They even had the Shogun Megazord that they could put in the back as well. So So they tried to keep Titanus around and get him sold, advertising him more, advertising him alongside later footage, later seasons where, you know, Megazord and Dragonzord were already gone off the show. It was kind of a longer lasting one. I mean, Dragonzord maybe the second longest lasting. Like, they kept him around a little bit longer because the Green Ranger didn't go away as quick into the White Ranger stuff. I feel like that puts Titanus pretty high on the list of like long-term powers and Zords and stuff in the show history of Power Rangers. Had multiple uses. He was the carrier of many Megazords in the back. Most of them kind of fit back there, so, I mean, why not? It's just interesting they never did, like, the Dragon kind of Megazord, the battle mode one. Even on the show, you'd think they just, for a different configuration for some reason, be kind of cool. But it is a little awkward, like, having Zords left out, so it makes more sense that the Megazord had, like, everything combined together to make that ULTRAZORD. So some of their examples here on the back are a little weird, that you can go, oh yeah, just put anything back there. And it's like, they took their own advice on that one. It was like, yeah, the later ones we're going to put. And so then there's this piece that I showed earlier. But I think the problem is there's supposed to be two, and it looks like I only have the one. And it's for towing mode, that you could kind of carry the tank mode Megazord, since it was like on wheels to roll around too. And so you could use the motorized power of Titanus and wheel that one behind you. Looks like the chain just kind of hooks to his tail and stuff like that. That would be cool, but I think we only have one harness to kind of attach those chains and bolts to the Zords so it could carry it. A cool idea, but nothing that was ever on the show. It was just kind of something, I guess, to play around with, since it had wheels as well, to kind of make them match up. I got to complete all the videos for Megazord, Dragonzord, and Titanus, the actual set that goes together. If you want to see those individual Zords covered, I do have that. You haven't already seen them. And if you have, I will get to all the other Zords here. We got a little sneak preview here with the Ninja Megazord that interacts with Titanus. I just wanted to show those with the Titanus, since that's kind of more of his thing, and probably won't bring him up when covering those, since it doesn't really go with them. It's just kind of a funny thing that they did on the show, kind of to advertise the toys more than anything else, and maybe fill the gap of an ULTRAZORD for some of the tougher monsters. And really, the Falcon here on the back was kind of the Titanus of this time period. This is kind of already in its own Ultra mode in a way. ULTRAZORD is awesome. It looks beautiful. It definitely takes up quite a footprint on your shelf. That's where I'd probably skip that Dragonzord tail in the back, maybe just to save you a few inches of display, you know? But having them all combined up, you know, that kind of shrinks stuff down too. Titanus just kind of takes up a lot of room on his own. So it's nice that you can kind of put that one in the back there and save some space that way. That's what I kind of look at these as, is more the display aspect of these, but I like to show off all the play features just to kind of relive them as we go over them. I like that I got to show you the electronic, like, motorized feature as well, because sometimes stuff like that doesn't work. But remember, if you do have old toys like this, take the batteries out if you're just displaying them on the shelf and you're not really going to be using those features, because those batteries will drain out and then eventually they'll kind of start seeping out and maybe ruin the electronics, because I've had to clean out a lot of toys on here. I'm just glad this Titanus was totally clean, like it hadn't been stored with batteries at all. Makes it a lot easier to show off if I want to do that. It is cool just to be able to have it on the shelf and be like, I can take that down and do that if I want, you know? But I wouldn't keep it ready with the batteries like for any time. I'm not gonna, my monthly ULTRAZORD run here. That's why I like to make these videos to show you, because it's kind of a time when I get to play around with the toys and see them, take them off the shelf and show. Also glad I had like a boxed version I could show you guys so you could see the box art, because that's always cool to me to get to see. I know a lot of people skip past the box part. They just want to get me opening it up. I feel like that's a big part of the nostalgia, is seeing the packaging and remembering that, seeing them on the shelves, or when you first opened yours if you ever had it. It's kind of the package deal that I like to show off with anything I showcase here on the channel. So plenty more Power Ranger stuff planned, and then usually I just am covering general 90s action figure stuff. There's actually plenty more beyond Power Rangers to see here. I'm sure you'll find several things of interest to you if this is stuff that you're interested in. That way I'll get to see you in the next video.